So I can imagine. Exactly. But we have heard of even notable, clergymen, notable religious people who have died, from...
Yes, it's a major cause of health problem, such as strokes, heart attack, and kidney disease, and also contribute to dementia. As I read from the WHO page, the world has organized this in such a way that we need to be aware. Awareness is key. So
key, absolutely. So you must take your life in your hands, basically. Make sure you're always... In Nigeria, I always say prevention is better than cure. And you may think, you have money. I've known people that have been known to be wealthy, but one sickness just cleared out their bank account. So you don't even want to get to the point where you're sick first, and then...
today you always say something. Today we'll say you are one sickness to that bankruptcy.
Yes.
Just one illness.
To bankruptcy or poverty.
And then you're wiped out. That's it.
Absolutely.
The theme for this year is know your numbers.
That's right. Do you know how to, for example, if you check your blood pressure, even if you have the machine, do you know what to look out for? Do you know what the right numbers are? Do you know, there are a lot of factors that can contribute to high blood pressure, even your weight. Yes, we talked about how it's not just about when you are thinking, but that can also contribute. Your mental health can contribute, and stuff like that. So
this mental health,
know your numbers?
I hear it a lot of time. Mental health.
It's a big thing now. It's a big thing now. And I'm glad that we talk about it, because we just used to always think, kilo and row, man up. Sit there, and stuff. But mental health is just as important as your physical health. And it does, once your mental health is affected, there's no way you start to feel it physically.
Why do we say man up, really? Why do we think a man is not vulnerable? Why do you think a man does not have his point of weakness?
We should not. Men do have. In fact, that's why apparently I heard that. They say women even live longer than men.
Sure they do.
And that's because we expect men to be strong. And they're carrying weight.
A lot of things.
Exactly. And unfortunately... it ends badly. So that's why we have women outliving men in a lot of situations.
Because women easily, express themselves.
Exactly.
They easily let out whatever is bothering them. They're expressive. Most women are expressive.
Absolutely.
Than men who probably will take up all that is bothering him. Will even be helping others while he's hurting.
Yes, exactly. So men, please, for number one, let's not normalize this whole man up thing. For example, most of the time, you find that when women are sick, we go to the hospital immediately. Men will still be, don't worry, let me just take painkiller. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Women immediately, we go to so we need, men normalize going to the doctors, normalize doing your health check, and all of these things. There's nothing strong about managing sickness. And managing,
shouldn't be managed. Somebody else will manage for you.
Absolutely.
Those who know, those who have, the management of illnesses or conditions are given to certain people who have studied and are experts in them.
Exactly.
And so you need to give it to them.
Absolutely.
Know your numbers will involve knowing your weight, know your blood pressure, you know your sugar level, know different things. These vitals that you need to know, the basic ones that you could even DIY. There are other ones that you need to go to the hospital to do. And so hypertension is a killer.
Absolutely. A big killer. And it kills suddenly. It's one of those conditions that don't even give you much notice. And so that's why you hear, they were okay, Lano. And then all of a sudden, he's gone. So please do not be one of the numbers. Do not be a statistic. It's important. So we're going to be calling our doctor who's going to be talking more about this and giving us more information about hypertension. There's a reason why the world even set apart a day in order to celebrate this, because we understand, the world understands that, people need to take this more seriously. People need to take their health more seriously. And like I said, we have a lot of people who are in this age, group that call us. And so we must, it's a duty to ensure that we talk about it. So we're going to get our doctor on the line in a bit. But let's see. I think we need to take just a quick break. And then Dr. Chukwuma Okoli will be joining us. He's the medical director of a hospital here in Ibadan. And we'll bring him up. He will bring us the details and what you need to watch out for when it comes to hypertension.
All right, we'll take a break. And as you join us, once we bring the doctor on, he will be talking to us about the World Hypertension Day, maybe a bit of the history. He will be telling us the theme, the significance of World Hypertension Day. He will also be telling us the things we need to know about hypertension as an individual, the figures to watch out for, and how do you understand these numbers, 180 over 120, 140 over 90. How do you understand these figures? They are part of what you'll be getting to listen to when the doctor is online. So stay with us, don't go away.
Hello. Ìkéde pàtàkì lélẹ́yìí o fún ẹ̀yin oníbàárà wa ọ̀wọ́n tí ẹ kò tíì ní NIN tàbí tí ẹ kò tíì so NIN yín pọ̀ mọ́ àwọn ìlà MTN yín gẹ́gẹ́ bí àṣẹ láti NCC. MTN yóò máa so National Identification Number NIN yín pọ̀ mọ́ àwọn ìtanilólobó àkọsílẹ̀ ìforúkọ síìmù yín tẹ́ ẹ ti pèsè tẹ́lẹ̀. Kó lè rọ̀ yín lọ́rùn, ọ̀nà méjì rèé láti ṣe é. Ìkíní, ẹ lọ sórí My MTN app. Ìkejì, ẹ pè *785*NIN#. Tí ẹ kò bá ní NIN, ẹ lọ sí www.nimc.gov.ng láti ṣàwárí ibùdó ìforúkọsílẹ̀ tó súnmọ́ yín láti forúkọsílẹ̀. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ rántí, yàtọ̀ sí ìlà tí ẹ fi ń pè gangan, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ so NIN yín pọ̀ mọ́ gbogbo ìlà yín yòókù àti àwọn síìmù dátà yín bíi MiFi, iNetflix àti àwọn mìíràn tí ẹ máa ń lò lórí àtàgbà MTN. Ìkéde yìí ṣe pàtàkì.
O gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe ìsopọ̀ gbogbo àwọn síìmù rẹ kó tó di ọjọ́ kẹfà oṣù April ọdún 2021.
When you think of fruit juice and all the goodness that comes in it, think Chivita. It is many years of trust, quality, and all the goodness of fruit poured into one lovely pack with no artificial flavors, colors, and preservatives, specially made for you. And there is more to choose from. Whatever your preferences are, there is a Chivita for you. There is a Chivita for everyone. So, what's your Chivita?
This now boarding announcement for passenger wey wan travel with Nigerian Idol season 7. Watch the live shows every Sunday for Africa Magic Urban and Family for 7 p.m. Download my GoTV app, make you fit dey vote for your favorite idol. GoTV, love it.
Ǹjẹ́ o ti jẹ oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀? Mo ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ Kellogg's. Ó dùn, ó ń ṣara lóore, ó sì kún fún èròjà vitamin àti minerals láti mú ara rẹ jí pépé. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọjọ́ rẹ bí ó ti tọ́ nítorí àkókò oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀. Àkókò Kellogg's ni.
Àtúndé bá a ṣe ń dé o pẹ̀lú àfihàn Samsung Care Plus eléyìí tó fòpin sí wàhálà ojú ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ rẹ pẹ̀lú owó bíntú bí $9,000. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, $9,000 yóò fún ọ láǹfààní láti má ṣe ìyọnu mọ́ fún àtúnṣe tó péye lórí S-series rẹ tuntun. Ìdánilójú wà pé lọ́gán àti pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn ló gba ẹ̀yà ara Samsung míì láti ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣe àtúnṣe ẹ̀rọ Samsung tá a fò ń tẹ̀lù tí ojú ẹ̀rọ rẹ bá ṣèṣì yọnu. Rí i dájú pé o ṣe àkọsílẹ̀ S-series rẹ láàrin oṣù kìíní tó rà kó o sì bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní jẹ̀gbádùn ààbò tó péye lórí ìyọnu yòówù tó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sí fún bí oṣù 12 gbáko. Ṣàkọsílẹ̀ lónìí lórí www.samsungcareplus.com/AFR. Ìlànà àti ọ̀rọ̀ àjọsọ ń bẹ o.
The weekend is all about ordering in and spending time together as a family. Every weekend, we order pizza and ice-cold Coke. Everyone gets their favorite toppings, even if it's pineapple. Timmy pours the Coke, taking a few sips. Mama puts on a comedy, knowing we wanted to watch an action movie. Every family night has a story. There's joy when we eat together. Offers available at Jumia and Glovo. T's and C's apply. Coca-Cola, real wonder.
Some people go just promise you berekete, but they go only fit give you bear. Some no go fit do pass bere. If they too try, some fit struggle give you bereke. But you still glow, they no go just give you berekete. They go even give you berekete plus join self.
Yes, so when new and existing Glow users enter Glow Bracket Plus, they will begin enjoy 100 Naira MB bonus data on top every first recharge of the month, another 60 MB bonus on top every other recharge of the month, and another 400% call time bonus. And if you be new Glow subscriber and call, now 1,000 Naira bonus credits, then go first take knock you welcome on top all the recharge them. This one pass boy. This one now Bracket Plus. Just dial *777# or activate new Glow SIM. Make yourself fit get joy on top your unlimited value. Waiting for Glow Bracket Plus. Glow, joy unlimited.
Anything where you dey drive, you need confirm protection, no, for your engine, no. make it mobile.
Good night, Susan.
Oh, good night, sir.
Hi. You need it when? Okay, we'll get it done. Guys, we can't leave. We've got to finish the client's order tonight.
Tonight? This time?
How about some top tea to cheer us up?
Tea. Top tea.
Only one bag of Top Tea makes 2 strong cups. So taste to know more flavor, enjoyment,
great
friendship, and upliftment.
Wow, this looks gorgeous.
Taste to know. Top Tea.
Sumbo, where are you going looking like you want to beat somebody? My sister, see me see trouble. I beg, see waiting I order, see waiting the deliver give me. It resemble, and I don't pay online, no. Chai, now why me I dey like buy online only on Jumia and return or change my item for free if I change my mind? And you tell me before, now Jumia go dey buy from going forward. For first, that's in apparel. Now me and you today. Sumbo.
Enjoy peace of mind that comes with free returns when you shop on Jumia and avoid stories that touch. Jumia, your everyday delivered.
I find the strength I need every time that I look into your eyes. And when the night comes, you hold me in your arms and you say, I'll never let you go, my sweet baby. You'll never let me down.
A mother's love is unconditional. Nothing serves this love better than a bowl of Indomie. So, show some love with Indomie.
Anytime your data finish, it is show, Gabi. Could be like say they cut your wire when everybody get light. From now, anytime your data finish, you will take Shikini money subscribe on top MTN all social bundle for 50 naira daily, 100 naira weekly, or 250 naira monthly to browse Yafu on top Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, Ayoba, WeChat, to go, Biscuit or Heskime. Easy, dial star 131*3*6# to subscribe to MTN all social bundle. Make you begin the browse Yafu. So, now waiting we they do today.
Welcome back. It is still Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Thank you very much for sticking around, especially for those who knew what we're going to be talking about. I know some people will try and run away, but it's important that you face...
You don't have to run away,
yes,
really.
Absolutely. We need to. And I think that's why a lot of people, unfortunately, die needlessly because they try and run away, try and act the ostrich, bury your head in the sand. What I don't know, won't hurt me.
It does.
Absolutely. When it comes to health, what you don't know may be killing you. And so it's important that as the world has separated today to focus on and to shed the light on hypertension, that we also do, take some time out to talk about this and to learn about this and to educate ourselves about this, because we'll be preventing somebody from dying needlessly today. So we've got the medical director from the Metropolitan Family Hospital with us today, Dr. Chukwuma Okoli. Good morning, Dr. Chukwuma.
Good morning.
Great to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. So, today's World Hypertension Day, Dr. Chukwuma. I know that you talk passionately about this subject as well. So that's why it was important for us to have you here, come educate us and talk to us about this subject. Now, I know they interchange hypertension with high blood pressure, but I know that is deeper than that. So please just shed light for the layman out there who's thinking, okay, high blood pressure, when I'm thinking a lot and then I just have to relax. What is hypertension?
Thank you very much. Now, hypertension is also known as high blood pressure. Okay. It is a long-term medical condition in which the blood pressure in the arteries of the body. Now, there are various vessels in the body. We have the arteries, we have the veins. Okay. Now, those are the two major vessels in the body. The arteries are the vessels that carry blood from the heart to organs. Now they carry oxygenated blood to the organs, all the organs of the body. Now, not just oxygenated blood, but oxygenated blood with nutrients needed for the organs to function actively, ranging from your brain to the eyes, to the lungs, the kidneys, all the organs of the body all through. Now, there is a particular pressure at which blood is pumped through these organs to go around the body. In a situation where this pressure is beyond a certain limit, okay, that is what is called hypertension or high blood pressure. Now, in a normal person, okay, now when the pressure is beyond 140, we have the upper and the lower part, okay? Now, the upper part is the 140, that's the upper limit. The lower limit is the 90. Now, what does this mean? The pressure at which the blood flows around the body maximum should be 140 millimeters of mercury. Now, the lower part is the 90. That is the pressure at which blood circulates around the heart itself.
Right.
Okay. Now, the heart itself is the organ that pumps the blood. Now, let's not forget that the heart itself is an organ that needs something to keep working. So it also needs blood by itself. So it also needs blood to flow around itself so that it can continue to function. It needs blood.
Okay.
Nutrients, and you see the heart of a man works throughout the life of the man. So when pressure in these blood vessels are beyond 140/90, it is termed hypertension. As simple as it comes, that is hypertension. Now we could have primary hypertension, which is hypertension resulting from no particular cause, which is what many Nigerians have, no particular cause. The other one is a secondary hypertension caused by a disease condition. Probably the person has grown sick over the period, and as a result of the sickness, it could be anything. It could be diabetes. Anything else could now potentiate a hypertension. That means the sickness now causes the body to function on that higher blood pressure. So this is a primary and secondary hypertension. So basically, that is hypertension.
All right, doctor.
Yes, sir.
I'd like you to help me. I've always heard that hypertension is termed the silent killer. I've also heard that there are no noticeable signs of hypertension. This two make it very difficult to understand and see. Are there telltale signs, maybe symptoms that can show me that I might be tending towards a precipice?
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Why is hypertension called a silent killer? Many people who undergo or who now become victims of hypertension do not exhibit any sign or symptom whatsoever. They simply just drop dead. Why?
Wow.
Now, I talked about hypertension affecting a lot of organs, primarily the heart itself. A heart that should pump blood now doesn't even get enough blood for itself because the pressure at which the blood is coming is higher than what it can accommodate. So now when the pressure becomes higher, the vessels now become smaller. Are you following me now?
Yes.
When the vessels become smaller, then there is a limited amount of blood that can flow through those small vessels. Now you don't get adequate nutrients anymore, and then the heart itself starts malfunctioning. And when this happens, the heart itself can grow sick. Unfortunately, the heart can stop anytime without any form of previous warning. That is called sudden cardiac death, and that is why hypertension kills a lot. Now, apart from the heart, may I inform you that 25% of the cardiac output That's what we call it in medicine. That is the volume of blood pumped out per minute. 25% of it goes to the kidneys, which means that in 4 minutes, the kidney receives the whole blood volume. Every 4 minutes, the kidney receives the whole blood volume. What is the function of the kidney? It filters the blood, okay? That is primarily the function. It has other things in it that detect if the blood volume or the richness, that is the level of the blood, PCV, we call it packed cell volume, if it is enough. If the packed cell volume is not enough, the kidney will secrete a chemical called erythropoietin to raise the level of the blood cells, which means the kidney plays a vital role. There are so many other things, electrolyte balance and so on and so forth, that the kidney does. Now, if this kidney, because of a hypertension, does not receive the volume it should receive, the kidneys can fail.
Wow.
And we all know that in Nigeria, kidney failure is tantamount to a death sentence. Not just in Nigeria, but all over the world. So imagine when the kidneys are not getting enough blood, what happens? So while you are talking about a heart failure, you're also thinking the kidney failure is just beside. How about the stroke? How about other organs that do not get adequate supply and they could stop working? Hypertension is a killer. It is a deadly killer.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yes, passionately.
I mean, that explanation really did it for me. I also read, and I wanted to, whether it's right or not, I read that there is no cure for hypertension. Are there lifestyle changes that we can make to reduce the risk of hypertension?
Thank you very much. Now, talking about lifestyle, of course, yes. You know, when talking about the causes of hypertension, we have the genetics, and we have the lifestyle. Now, lifestyle talks about stress, exclusive, people who are always involved in one stressful situation or the other, and then this builds up the tension in the body. How about the poor sleep that comes with it? How about the smoking? How about the alcohol consumption? How about excessive fatty foods and all whatnot, suya and pepper, chicken, pepper, whatever, all those stuff. Now excess, not that they are not good, but then excess consumption, you make it on a daily basis, you consume heavy quantities. These are risk factors. So what do you need to do? You eat healthily, you sleep well. If you're not able to eat healthily, then seek a dietitian to help you. If you're not sleeping well, see the physician. He can also put you through. And of course, avoid stress. Limit when you work. Some people do not create a distinction between when they work and when they should be sleeping. You see them working up to 1 a.m. in the night. To what end? What are you going to achieve? And at the end of the day, you start having chronic headaches and the BP is up. You can't sleep. The BP continues to go up. And you see a lot of people are walking corpses up and down because the blood pressure is so high and they don't even have any symptoms. Anything can happen at any time.
Right now, I mean, we've talked about how hypertension is also called high blood pressure. And Oluwaseun just talked about how it feels like, is this something that can be managed? I know people that have been living with a high blood pressure, but is this something that can be managed? And is something that someone can live up to, how many years with living with hypertension?
All right, allow me to tell you that you can live a normal life despite the hypertension. It starts with a positive mindset. Now if hypertension has been diagnosed, which is recording higher blood pressures greater than 140/90 in more than 2 successive times of checking the blood pressure, at that point, a diagnosis of hypertension is made. Now, it is the duty of the physician to determine what the cause of this hypertension is by asking questions as to your lifestyle, as to your sleep pattern and what you do and what has been happening around you. So if there are things that you can walk around them. If you need to be on medications, then commence your medications. But the truth is, at no point should you stop medications by your own self unless your physician stops you from taking the medication. And of course, go for checkup on a regular basis. If you go for checkup on a regular basis and your physician finds that you are a lot better and the blood pressure has come down, it is the job of the physician to stop you from the medications. But of course, aside from the drugs and so on, how about exercise, light walk, But of course, when you want to take your walk, please take your walk in broad daylight, not in the night because of security situation, okay? Okay, take your walks, regular walks, and then do exercise, aerobic exercises. When you do aerobic exercises, you take in quantum leap of oxygen and you enrich your blood with oxygen. All this helps to reduce. That's why when you usually say when somebody is tensed up, you tell the person, calm down, breathe in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. That's load your system with oxygen. It helps the tension to come down. So these are things that you can do.
How about food? Let's zero in on food a bit, Doctor, because I mean in Nigeria, where we love our meat, we love, to put like...
fried.
Yeah, exactly. Daddy is the one that's going to have 4 pieces of meat in his... Thank God we don't do that at home anymore. But I mean, and also seasoning. We have lots of seasoning. A lot of people like their salt. Yeah. Let's talk about that a bit more, because a lot of people have condemned certain seasonings and saying that, it can cause, high blood pressure. What are your thoughts on that? And how can people, walk around? Is it that we can't season our food anymore? We can't eat 4 pieces of meat. So what do you say to that?
Thank you. Okay, now let me explain something to you, but I'm not really going to say you shouldn't take one part of one food or the other. In Nigeria, we have our rice, okay? That's number 1 food being consumed in the whole country.
Yes.
All right, after the rice, then we have the swallow, amala, okay? And yes, and rice is what? Carbohydrate. All right, amala. Okay, we have the commonest one, amala ilubo, right? Okay, and occasionally the lafu. Okay, and for the south and the southeast people, we have the fufu. Okay, and then we have the semo that cuts across. All these things I mentioned, what are they? Carbohydrates. Okay, so after talking about this, now the next to talk about the protein foods. Now, should I surprise you that beans is also has a lot of carbohydrates in it as well.
Shocking.
A little of protein. A little of protein. So at the end of the day, what do we have in the country? We have carbohydrates majorly. Less of protein. Okay, though we have the meat, but you see, it is those that have the dough that is the plenty of meat. So what we have cutting across is lots and lots of carbohydrates. But this is my advice. Moderation is the key. You can take as many meats you want to take, whatever it is. Just make sure you exercise, eat fruits with it, and take lots of water. And then you can run all the things out of your system. But if I would ask you, why would you take 4 pieces of meat when somebody out there cannot even afford 1? Just moderation is the key. Eat your food, balanced diet, okay? Some little carbohydrate, some little protein, vegetables, and fruit, and lots of water. That is it. That is the key. Balanced diet. That's the key.
Okay, Doctor, I'd like you to help us with the common myths in hypertension. One of them is I'm not thinking about anything, so I can't have hypertension.
Or it's just old people.
Or it's just for old people, or it's just for black people or something.
Yes, actually, you mentioned something black. Right. Now, may I inform you that hypertension is more common in the blacks than the whites?
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it is. In fact, twice as common in blacks. So if you're a black person like me now, you're twice as susceptible to develop hypertension than your white friend, wherever he or she is. Okay, so yes, it is common to the black. Okay, thinking. It is true. When you think, what happens? Your emotions are raised. What happens? You have an emotional stress. And from the emotional stress, you may have some poor sleep. Okay, your heart may skip beats occasionally and all that and all that. Before you know it, your blood pressure may rise. So it is true, thinking causes high blood pressure.
Okay, so how about the myth about it's just for elderly people? Is that true?
No, it's not for the elderly. No, it's everybody, everyone.
Okay, so
we have even diagnosed a 12-year-old boy in recent times with hypertension.
Okay.
So how can we develop hypertension awareness, platform that people will get to know about this silent killer, and we can take caution?
Thank you. It's simple. And my suggestion is let everybody acquire, if possible. There are lots of apparatus or items that can measure the blood pressure. Apart from the long stick, we have the digital stick. We have some other bracelets that people do get now, which helps the blood pressure, to check the blood pressure. Okay, so it is ideal that we should check our blood pressures regularly. Okay, people like us in the hospital check ours at least 3-4 times a week. So I would rather say check your blood pressure regularly. When you do, if you're not in the hospital setting, you can do, if you have the machine, you can do once a week. So if you're hypertensive and you're on medications, you check every day.
Yes, every day. If you can afford it, buy an iWatch for your parents, especially those who can afford it.
Yes, buy the brace. Buy the brace that the wrist bracelet or something that measures the blood pressure. You can wear them. It helps you. So this is no longer the time to say no. I don't want to know about my blood pressure. I don't want to. Look, things you don't know will kill you faster.
True.
Yeah, very true.
And now, once again, let's just talk about the numbers, Dr. Okoli, because a lot of people, if I check my blood pressure, what is over?
What am I looking for?
Because there's also low blood pressure. There's high blood pressure. There's low blood pressure.
Okay, good. Thank you. This is it. The generally accepted blood pressure is 120 over 80. Okay, you can say between 120 and 139. Okay, over 80 to 90. Okay. Between 120 and 139, that's the upper limit, okay? Over 80 to 90. Occasionally, you could get people having 110, 70. As long as they are not with symptoms, they are fine. If they are not with symptoms, and if they are having symptoms, you ask them, are you on blood pressure drugs? If they say yes, tell them to stop it.
Okay.
All right, so 120 over 80, okay, 120 to 139 over 80 to 90. Occasionally, you have a 110 over 70. It is still acceptable. Anything less of that is low blood pressure. And allow me to tell you, low blood pressure kills faster.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, wow.
You're shocking a lot of people this morning.
I know, because we're so focused on high blood pressure.
Yes.
Sometimes even low blood pressure is sneakier.
So can we? What are the things that we can quickly do if we see someone in this condition?
Yes, like quick. What do they call them again?
First aid.
First aid. Yes, that's right.
Okay. Now, when you have a high blood pressure, first things to do is to calm the person down if the person has any form of anxiety or whatsoever it is. And then the next is to seek medical care. Get to the hospital fastest to you. That is it.
Okay.
It is the hospital management. Hypertension is purely a hospital management. So get to the hospital closest to you and let the doctor attend to you immediately. Hypertension is not what you need to delay for any reason. Once you get to the hospital, it is your right that you are attended to on time, because hypertension can be saved. If you attend to that patient fastest, you can save the life of that person. If that person is having a complication that can kill.
Can you help us go through again how hypertension is treated?
Okay, thank you. Hypertension is treated with medications, okay? Now, when it is established, having done the blood pressure more than 2 times consecutively, and the blood pressure is elevated, as a physician, you take your history, you find out what could be the likely causes of hypertension in this person. Is there any emotional stress, any physical stress, the lifestyle, the food consumed, people who sit down from morning till night looking at the system, who eat lots of junks and all that. Okay, so having taken your history, people who are drivers, they can drive for 10 hours out of 24, or even up to 14 hours out of 24 hours. You know, this is their life, this is their job. Okay, so you take history. Having taken the history, you typify or you classify what you have gotten. If it is an emotional stress, prefer solutions. Physical stress, prefer the solutions. Counsel the patient appropriately, and then you commence medication as you deem it fit for the person, and you give a short-term check for the person to...
Okay, I just hang on. Okay, all right. We'll get Dr. Okoli. Just hang on there, Dr. Okoli. I'm not sure why the... okay. All right. I also wanted to ask him, if you have a parent that's had, high blood pressure or hypertension, are you more susceptible to having it? So is it genetic? Is the question I wanted to ask him. Yes, I wanted to ask genetics. Yes.
He said he started by saying it's genetics.
Okay. All right. Just hang on. All right. Hello, Dr. Okoli.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Sorry, you got cut off there for a second. I think you were saying something about how to treat hypertension.
So when you've been to the hospital and the doctor has commenced you on medications, then you need a check. So you need to visit the hospital again for a follow-up on the medications. Okay. And then you let the physician handle that aspect. What you need to do for yourself now is to check your blood pressure on a daily basis if you're on medications, and you communicate with your physician. Fortunately, there are good means of communication without even getting to the hospital. If possible, you can do that.
Yeah, I think I've learned that we need to go get the machine, bracelet, and also check every day.
Yes.
Ronke was asking a question about the elderly.
If I've had a parent who had high blood pressure or hypertension, am I more susceptible to it? Is it based on yes?
It's genetically transmitted, so you may. It doesn't mean that once your parent has hypertension that you would definitely have it. It only says that if your parent has hypertension, you should develop the habit of checking regularly, so that you can take care of it even if it's coming. And then the best is to have the lifestyle modification so it doesn't even develop at all.
All right. And once again, lifestyle modification can include maybe reduce fatty food, exercise, even if it's just 10 minutes around your house.
Walk, exercises, reduce fatty foods, and then reduce salt consumption.
Okay.
Yes, and then the spices, reduce the spices as well.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Okoli.
I love the idea of lifestyle and
modifications. Yes,
I love the idea of that. I love
and sleep.
Sleep. Sleep.
So all these people that say billionaires don't sleep. I've never seen a billionaire that said they don't sleep actually. But
so you said 7 hours?
Yes.
6 to 7 hours. 6 to 7.
So please help us warn the motivation speakers that said that if you sleep 7 hours, you can be half of your life, away or something.
You need to sleep.
Exactly.
So you don't develop hypertension.
Thank you so much, Dr. Okoli. We appreciate you being here, and thank you for always teaching health in such a way that we understand. All right, we appreciate that. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Okay, that was the medical director of Metropolitan Family Hospital here in Ibadan, Dr. Chukwuma Okoli.
Thank you very much for bringing him on here. And you see, like what I said earlier, this issue of motivational speakers saying if you sleep 6 hours, 7 hours,
motivate you to
have slept half your age,
or your income.
Away. Please sleep. If you have to sleep, please ensure that you take proper rest so that you be energized to work the following day. Sleeping is not a curse.
It is not. It's overdoing it. That's that's a bit much. As it's overdoing anything. Because even when he said eat your meat. But obviously everything must be done in moderation.
Yes, he emphasized moderation. He also talked about the figures, so you need to know it. 130 to 139 over 80 to 90, or 110 to over 70, and anything short of these is hypotension, like they call it.
Exactly. So if you stress a lot, if you're overweight, there are people who he said are more susceptible. So if you're already overweight, if you're already stressed, you're already overstressed, you are more. It feels like you're more. It's easier to get.
And he said it's genetic, and that if you know that your parents have it, you need to work out a lifestyle that will prevent you from getting into that level.
Absolutely. Do everything in moderation. And I hope that this has saved somebody today, all right? Because, we're all not young forever. After a certain age, I always tell people, 1 minute on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. Meaning whatever you used to get away with when you were in your teens, in your early 20s, after a certain age, you just can't get away with it anymore. So let's make good decisions when we are younger, so that when we're older, we can enjoy this body, we can live longer, we can do the things we need to do in good health.
Thank you for being part of the discussion this morning. I hope you've learned a number of things. I have, and I hope you have as well. Thank you for joining us. I'll be back here tomorrow at 6:30, and I'll also be here at 10 a.m. for Politics 10:55. Thank you for being there. I'm Oluwaseun on Akinola.
I'm Ronke, Giwa, Onafuwa.
Hello, ibo lo wà? Mo ti ń bọ̀, mo ti fẹ́ dé. Jọ̀wọ́ yára o, à ń jáde lọ fún ìṣaralóge lẹ́yìn náà. Èmi ni máa sanwó ẹ̀.
Níbo ìṣaralóge nìkan ni ìwọ tó ṣiṣọ́ lọ́sẹ̀ tó kọjá pé kò sówó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀.
Ìyẹn kí n tó jẹ káàdì ẹ̀bùn tí iye owó ẹ̀ jẹ́ $1,150 náírà. Ìyẹn 150,000 naira nínú Zenith Better Life Promo Season 2.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, Zenith Bank ń pín ẹ̀bùn tó tó $1,150 ìyẹn 150,000 naira fún àwọn ogún oníbàárà olóríire lọ́sẹ̀ méjì nínú Zenith Better Life Promo Season 2. Láti kópa, ṣí àkáǹtì Zenith Bank kó o sì fi $5,000 sílẹ̀ sínú ẹ̀ fún oṣù kan. Béèrè kó o sì gba káàdì rẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní lò ó yálà káàdì àfojúrí ni tàbí torí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára. Lẹ́yìn náà, forúkọsílẹ̀ fún *966# tàbí Zenith Mobile Banking. Kò wá tó síbẹ̀ o, àwọn olóríire márùn-ún yóò jẹ ẹ̀bùn àgbàyanu tó tó $500,000 ìyẹn 500,000 naira lóṣù mẹ́ta. Àǹfààní yìí wà fún àwọn oníbàárà tuntun àti ti tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ kìíní oṣù February 2022 títí di ọjọ́ kọkànlélọ́gbọ̀n oṣù January 2023. Ìlànà àti àdéhùn wà o. Zenith Bank fún àǹfààní ara rẹ.
Ọ̀rẹ́, ṣé lóòótọ́ lo ti lọ gba abẹ́rẹ́ àjẹsára COVID-19?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o, méjèèjì gan ni mo